Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome to week 2 of Kitchen and Garden Diary. It's a 35-week long challenge that I've decided to do as our response here on the Smallholding to the cost of living crisis, so we can share what we're going through, anything that we learn and how we're managing or not managing as it might be through the next 35 weeks. So the video that's coming up is going to show you lots of different things that we talk about during week 2, some of the meals that we had, and obviously it's been a super sad week, so I'll get into that just now and I'll meet you after the footage at the very end of the video. Time to have a look at what's in the fridge so we can get this week's menu plan underway. Now the fridge is looking sparse compared to last week, and I think it'll probably continue to. I'm really used to having a full fridge and it's very difficult for me to not want to fill it up, so that's another challenge for me during these 35 weeks. Starting in the bottom, we've got no meat in here, which I did have chicken in here, but that's gone now. And we've still got some last bits of spinach and a small amount of onion just in there. In here we've still got those plums that I need to get used up, and this is just some breakfast meat that Stephen's got that we've taken out of the freezer, so he has meat with his breakfast every morning. These are those apricots that we talked about last week, and some more plums that we've foraged since. Puff pastry still in here. We've got a new tub of peanut butter, some leftover roast pork from the roast pork dinner. This is the new block of butter, solid butter, that we had last week, so I won't get another one of those. And we've got about half a tub of the spreadable left, but I will need more of that because the kids are back to school and they'll be using that every day. The smallest amount of cheddar left in the world. We've started this elmi, which we used in the curry sauce just the other day, and all of these bits and pieces here is still the ferment that I mentioned last week. So there really isn't anything much to be going from in the fridge at the moment. We've got the tomato sauce that we bought last week, that's about halfway through. So I guess we can say we use about half a bottle a week. Then we've got this bramble blackberry cordial that's homemade, and then some of the other homemade condiments that again won't make up a meal in themselves, so there's not much in the fridge there that I'm going to need to use up this week. I'll just keep an eye on what we'll need to add to the shopping list as we run out. And then in the pantry you can see we've used some, or you might have seen that we used some of the pearl barley. I have still got literally all these packs of pearl barley. We've got the soup and broth mix, which hasn't been touched yet this week. We've got red split lentils, pinto beans, which I've got tons of still. The yellow split peas, plenty of those. We've got a few packs of the easy cook brown rice, loads of sugar because, as I mentioned last week, this is for the preserving. Different kinds of flours that I'm starting to make my way through. And then up here we've got, when I was buying stuff from this company, we got a lot of this during lockdown, and they tend to send free stuff if you order over, I think it was £30 or something like that. So we've got a lot of ingredients that we haven't yet got to because I haven't really given the time to understand what to do with them. So I'll be doing some more of that over the coming weeks. And then moving around here, had a little bit of a tidy up, and over here we've got cooking sherry. We've got some coconut milk powder mix, pudding rice, sesame seeds, crystallised ginger, dry mustard, shredded beef, just normal suet. We have got 2 almond milks left, so that needs to go on the shopping list for this week because Stephen uses that every week. The kids' chocolate spread, I did put it into one and then somebody went and opened another one, so this is the story for every week, so I'm going to take a closer eye on these. The golden syrup we've been using on pancakes as well as other things, and these are just the general bottles. We've been going through the baked beans, so that is an easy go-to meal that will have different things, whether it's with omelettes, whether it's on toast, that kind of thing. I think we've used 1 or 2 tins of beans, mixed beans this week, so that went well. And then really we've got some tuna left and some odd ingredients, some chutneys, my emergency lasagna case in case I want to make a lasagna and I don't want to faff on doing anything else, and then some custard powder. I've run out of gravy granules completely, so I did get this tin ages ago, and it's normally full of gravy granules. We've got a spare coffee at the back there, and then round to where I'm keeping the more fresh ingredients. We have done well with the ingredients that were in here, and I have got it tidied up a little bit. Crackers are left. We've got some crisps so what we didn't buy these. This is what the grandparents brought through for the kids. So once a week the grandparents come and visit, and they do bring treats for the kids, so this isn't something that's come out of our grocery budget. This is my homemade bread. I just put it in one of those fruit bags because I find that it just keeps the flies off and it keeps it nice. Got a few things like sweet potatoes left that I'll have to get used up. I did find the ginger that I mentioned that we didn't get from Aldi last week, which is just as well because I've got some left anyway. Still got these oranges. Need to get to doing something with those. And then there's a few bananas left, and those apples didn't get touched from last week, so we won't be getting any of those this week. But the kids are back to school from tomorrow, so they'll start getting put in the packed lunches. And then down here we've got, you can't really see, it's so dark, we've got more dry ingredients for baking and all sorts of other bits and pieces. And there are some rice, you can see there risotto rice, more risotto rice. There's just all sorts of bits and pieces, green lentils that was. So we'll be trying to use as much as we can in this week's grocery budget, in this week's so we'll be trying to use as much as we can in this week's meal plan. But for now, we've got the sweet potatoes that'll end up going bad that I want to get used. I need to figure something out for those oranges. But apart from that, the bread will go really quickly. I don't see anything else going off that I haven't got plans for, as I say, packed lunches and things like that. So I can just pick something from here, which will be pearl barley again this week, I think. Some of the pinto beans, stuff like that. And we can add those into the menu plan. So what I've got written down already is aubergines, because I still didn't use those last week. Tomatoes, we've got all kinds of fresh tomatoes coming in from the greenhouse. We've got marrows that are just absolutely huge in the garden, so throughout the week I'll show you those. We've got those sweet potatoes in the pantry, the oranges, and I've got tons of cooking apples as well that I can use fresh or that we can store. The trees this year are just going bonkers with the amount of apples that we've got. So meal requests and ideas that I've had this week, the sausage casserole, I actually wrote that down earlier on last week for this week, if that makes sense, because we got, that was a request. It was actually something that I saw and it sounded really nice, and then the kids said that they would like it. So that's the sausage and pearl barley casserole that we've had on Tuesday night. I saw an idea for doing a stuffing mix casserole where in the slow cooker you add a packet of stuffing mix on the top as like a kind of a layer to the top of a meal, a casserole. It's supposed to be really nice. And I also saw how to do roast potatoes in the slow cooker, so I'm going to give that a whirl at some point, whether it's this week or in the future, we'll see. But they're the ideas that I've got written down before asking the family. And then when I asked the family what they fancy, they seem to be getting on board, because this week I got some requests in for toad in the hole. So that is sausages and Yorkshire puddings, if that doesn't translate to anyone. Pork chops, roasties and veg. So I'm not sure if I'll do the roasties on that one using the slow cooker or not, because I've got the pork chops to cook anyway. So we'll wait and see. I'll figure it out. Curry and naan again, and again I don't know. That was the ingredient that last week we had to go and pick up because I completely forgot. And chances are I might do the same again this week. So I'm worried that also, would I want to put the, because I'll do the curry in the slow cooker. So would I want to put the oven on just to make naan bread when I could literally put it in the toaster if we buy it for cheap? So I think I'll add that on and check how much that is in Aldi as well. So I'm going to write naan bread down on my shopping list, and then we can see how much it costs. Okay, so far I know that for breakfast I'm going to need to buy yogurt, bananas, mushrooms and tomatoes. So the yogurt will be for topping the pancakes, which the bananas will be made. We'll use the bananas to make. Mushrooms and tomatoes will go with bacon, sausage and eggs, because we've always got eggs, as I said last week. And then for lunches, I'll get Stephen the almond milk rather, and the peanut butter, because he takes a shake every day. I won't need anything else because I'll just take leftovers or soup, and we'll always make up the soup using the veggies that we've got. So now I just need to add in what the kids will need for their packed lunches. Now, ordinarily, because I've got loads of leftovers from tonight, I forgot to mention that, I would do something like turn it into a pie and cook it in the oven tomorrow, but I'm trying not to use the oven tomorrow night. So I think what I'm going to do is freeze the leftovers that we've got, and I'll figure out about putting them in a pie or doing something else with them another time. I'll just have to make sure I label them so I remember what they are, because I'm terrible for labeling sometimes. So this is what it looks like so far, and I need something for slow cooker Wednesday, slow cooker Thursday and Monday. Got it, right. So Wednesday I'm going to do slow cooker chili con carne, because then I can use some of the tinned beans. I can get some veg that I'm going to get from Aldi tonight. I could put a pepper in there and things like that, and I can just leave that on all day. And then I might In fact, no, I'll do that in the Instant Pot because then I'll use the Instant Pot to do the rice to go with the chilli. So that's going to be Wednesday. Thursday, I'm going to do a beef stew because Thursday is actually going to be the coldest day this week. And although it's not going to be really cold, it's going to be colder than the other days. So I'll do a nice warm in beef stew with that, and that'll just be an all-in-one dish. So there'll be no extra appliances needed then. And then on the Monday, I'm actually going to do stuffed marrows. So this will be with minced beef. So either pork mince or beef mince or lamb mince or any mince, to be honest. And then I'll just do a stuffed marrow filling, and we'll bake those in the oven. So it will be 2 days that we've got the oven on next week. So it'll be Monday for the stuffed marrows and Tuesday for the toad in the hole. But that's okay because I think the other days will balance that out. We're keeping an eye on the electric as well. Excuse the writing, I'm getting tired. So I think that's everything now then. So basically what I'm coming up with now, I'm just writing down the ingredients that I'll need for the meals that I've just planned. So I'd like to put a pepper in the chilli for tomorrow, for example. I know people will want to put cheese on top of it. Beef stew, I won't need anything. The moussaka, I shouldn't need anything. The pork chops and veg, I'll just get some veg to go with that. But again, we've got a lot here. I could do roast tomatoes with that one actually. I could do that, that would be lovely with a bit of garlic roasted. Curry and naan, I won't need anything for. The stuffed marrow, I'll just use what I've got, and the toad in the hole with veg, again, that'll just be the veg. So we've already got the breakfast ingredients, the lunch ingredients. I'm not going to need peanut butter this week actually because I've just checked that tub that I showed you and it has just been opened. So instead of the peanut butter, I'm going to be getting the cheese because they're the same price. So I'll probably just alternate weeks with them. And that's about it really. I don't think there's much else that I need. I'm going to work out the cost of all of this and then we'll see where we stand. And if anything else springs to mind, I'll add it to the list and we'll get busy going to Aldi. So every week I want to get about £5 worth of vegetables, and in addition to those that I need to make the recipes from scratch. So these are kind of sides and things like that. We do obviously have what we've got here growing, but anything that I see frozen or that I want to get fresh, I'll get up to £5 worth of those veggies as well. So without that, I've just worked out and it's coming in at about £15.09. So we'll see how much it really adds up to. So they've got plain and self-raising, but they haven't got any bread flour.
Store assistant required.
We're back and this is what we got. This week I got 2 4 pints of milk, 1.45 each, and the reason I got 2 is last week we got 1 plus the 2 single litres, so 2 litres in total of the long life milk, and we ran out on Sunday, I think it was, of that, or Monday I think I had my last cup of tea with it. So definitely going to go for the 2 4 pints this week and see where we get to. It does depend if the kids have got things like the milkshakes or anything left over, you know, the powdered milkshakes. I think there's a tiny bit of that left in the pantry, and if they use that then they go through a lot of milk. So some weeks we go through a lot, other weeks we don't go through much. That was a heck of a long story just for 8 pints of milk. Anyway, 2 lots of 1.45 there. The almond milk at the back here was 85 pence, which was expected. The squash was 99, which it used to be 95, so that's gone up. Cauliflower was out of the veg, the £5 veg, and that came in at 85 pence. 2 lemonades at the back just for Stephen. You can see he's already taken a bit out. He just has this on a weeknight with some like other flavouring in a glass, just as a sweet treat, and they're just 23 pence each. Probably not that great for you, but never mind. £2.39 for the British mature cheddar. You can get a big block for £3.99, and that'd last us a lot longer, but I'm not doing quiche or anything like that, which is when I tend to go through a big load of cheese, and this is nicer, to be honest with you. So we've got that one, which is £2.39. First time I've ever bought a single pepper for a long time. That was 42 pence. Gravy granules were 85 pence, and then I decided to get frozen garden peas because they're really versatile and I quite enjoy those. They were just 65 pence for 900 grams. The tin of rice pudding was what Grace asked for as her treat, so again, probably not really good for you, but she enjoys it. 23 pence for a single tin. 2 packs of bananas, they were 69 pence each. They're still on the special offer. Broccoli, there was only 3 bits of broccoli left, and this was the best of a bad bunch. So 57 pence for that, or you could have bought organic, but I'm fine with what we've got there. The Greek yogurt again was £1.59. The lemons were as expected at 50 pence, which they're additional for this week. We don't normally get them every week. I'm going to be preserving those in honey, like I said, so I'll show you that. Then we've got 2 packs of salad tomatoes. Although we've got plenty coming in the greenhouse, Stephen goes through a heck of a lot, and he literally wiped the greenhouse out in a couple of days. So I do top us up with these cheap salad tomatoes. They don't taste very nice raw, in my opinion, or uncooked, but once they're cooked with a breakfast, they really do taste nice. So I'm glad that we've picked those up. Then we've also got the, where are we? The no pack lighter was £2.19. 2 packs of digestives were 55 pence each. For some reason I thought they were 31 pence each, and they didn't have any fresh mushrooms, so I bought frozen mushrooms, 500 grams. First time I've ever bought frozen mushrooms before, so I'll just cook these from frozen again for the breakfast, so we'll see how that goes. And they came in at 75 pence, so cheaper than the 130 we were expecting, but only for 500 grams. The bread was £1.10. I didn't expect to get the bread, but I decided as on our way around that I would do that just to be nice to myself rather than put a loaf in the bread maker overnight for the kids tomorrow. So the kids have asked for jam sandwiches, bless them. So they'll be having that in the morning to take to school as their packed lunch. They won't have that every day, obviously. It's just a one-off, or once or twice a week, should I say. And then finally, we got 2 packs of the naan breads. We did just have 1 pack, or the equivalent of 1 pack last time we had the curry, and although it was sufficient, we probably could have had some more, and because we won't be having rice with the curry this week, I think that 1 full naan bread each is perfectly doable. All of that came in at £22.51, and I think everything on here will get used up before we go shopping again. I'm just hesitating when I'm talking, so I'm looking. Maybe the cheese, but again, it's just like the milk. Sometimes we end up using it all and we need more, and other times we've got a lot left and everybody's wondering why we've got so much left. But all of this will go by the time we go around shopping again. Remember, this is just to supplement what we've got coming in from the garden and what we've got in the freezers and the pantry. We've got quite a pantry built up that we purposefully did, so this is just to supplement that. So I was quite surprised, to be honest, that this came in at £22 when I had about £15 in, and I've only bought the extra naan, the bread, some extra tomatoes, and I think we had £5 in for the veg. So, you know, I was quite surprised that it soon adds up. So I knew it could easily happen, but soon adds up. But we still came in under budget. So the remainder of the money, the difference between £25 and what this cost, will get sent across to our savings pot. For tea tonight, we've got chili con carne in the slow cooker. Instant pot, it's not a slow cooker. You'd think I'd know that by now. And I'm a little bit rushed because I've just put out week 1's video of the Kitchen and Garden Diaries, and it took a lot longer than I anticipated because it was quite long. It's probably too long, but let me know. Anyway, I'm just cutting up red pepper. I've got mince and onion in there, chopped up and in there, just frying off on the saute mode. I've got some cumin, some more onion powder, some garlic powder. I'm going to put some chili powder in, this red pepper, and half a jar of the passata that I've got there as well. I won't use all the red pepper, so I'll be able to take some of that just for snacks instead of unhealthy but delicious cookies or something like that to work tomorrow. You might wonder where this has come from. This is actually from my outside room that I've got. I've got a few bits of tomatoes and things like that, and I shall show you that another time. But this is garlic passata, so it's flavoured with garlic as well. And there's also the garlic powder in here. I'm going to get this mixed up, and from the pantry that you guys have already seen, I'm putting in some borlotti beans. I'll probably use a full tin just to bulk it out a bit, because I would like to take this for leftovers for my lunch at work tomorrow. Worcestershire sauce. I never ever measure. I love the taste of it though, so I always put too much in, if anything. Mind you, you can't have too much of that stuff. I love it. Out of interest, I'm going to see how long it takes to come to pressure. So we literally just need it on for 5 minutes. So this is on 6 from the basmati rice from the other day. And I'm going to start my timer and I'll let you know. So we've got basmati rice, instant pot chilli, a bit of salsa, a bit of red onion chutney, and some grated cheddar that you saw us get in the grocery haul. That's it. Looking delicious. Well, I'm just nipping out to get some carrots for tea. Normally I would get all of these on a weekend, but we're out completely. And I'm obviously not buying any at the moment. And I wanted to take the opportunity, because this week's a little bit light on meals and showing you guys what we're having for meals of the week, for the reasons that I mentioned, with it being such a sad week. Took a little bit of time off there. But I wanted to just share with you some of my thoughts around how I save money around the groceries. Getting watched. She's wanting to come in here where the carrots are, because she wants some carrots. Right, safe. So yeah, I thought it would be nice just to have a couple of minutes to say I shop, as I said, in week 1 pretty much exclusively at Aldi, and I do want to shop exclusively at Aldi for the purpose of this video, because I think it'll be good to compare in a year or two's time when we look back on it. But anyway, all of that said, Aldi's really close for me. So I think when you're picking somewhere to do your shopping, there's no point in going somewhere like Aldi if it's going to cost you a fortune in petrol or bus money or taxi fare, whatever it might be, to actually get there. Or even if you have to walk, which a lot of people do, you know, you need somewhere that's close and convenient, and you cut your cloth accordingly, in my opinion, or at least that's what we do. And some of these carrots, while I'm talking, they've gone a little bit green on top because they're exposed. Oh, but they're still going to be fine. I only want a few to go with our meal tonight. I'll do for now. Wow! Oh my goodness, look at that. Okay, that looks a bit rude, I've just realised. Sorry. Oh, bee. That's fine. Oh. Hi, bee. These are a bit close together, but they are doing amazing. Right, that'll be enough. We've shopped at Aldi for years now, like really for years. My son's 12, I think we were even shopping when my daughter was born. She's 15, coming up 16, so it's been a long time. And I do hear a lot of people say, well, I can't get everything that I want in Aldi, or other things that I've heard mentioned, that the items go off quickly, the produce goes off quickly. To be quite honest, in my experience, I've never had Aldi products go off quicker than any other products that I might get from the likes of Tesco or Asda, Morrison's, you know, all of the other supermarkets. I've had no bad experience with my previous Aldi at the last house, or at the Aldi that we're at now, which is in a different county, for the last 6 years that we've lived here. So that's one thing that I've had no problems with. Obviously we have had, you know, some things have gone off, but they would have if we bought them from Tesco, and they have when we used to shop at Tesco as well. So I think they're completely on par from that respect. And the second point that I hear a lot of people saying is they can't get everything that they want in Aldi. So we don't shop brands anymore. We haven't for a long time. To be honest, I'm not even sure we actually did. I shopped offers more than brands, and that's fine if you're shopping in obviously the bigger supermarkets, but you don't get offers in that respect in Aldi. Obviously they do the Super 6 and things like that, but you know, where they do the big half price and all of that usual stuff. So for Aldi, what I've found is that I've just learned to adapt. We shop very much, we don't have luxurious choice in meals, or taste in meals, not choice. I suppose we could if we wanted to. We shop basic, so it's fresh fruit and produce, and cooking from scratch allows me to do that. So I don't suffer from or I don't feel that I suffer from the lack of produce that they've got, or lack of availability that they've got. And I think once you've stopped buying the brands, which we don't miss, and as I say, I'm not even sure we ever had, and you know, what else is there left that you say, well, we can't get? If there's specific things to recipes that it's going to ruin the recipe if I don't get it, then obviously, you know, for Christmas and the likes of that, then we will go and we will get the extra produce. But for day to day and week to week, I don't find that there isn't anything that I can't substitute or figure out how to get around it. So I really don't suffer from Aldi not having everything that we want. So really curious as to know, obviously if you've got specific dietary requirements, you know, they might not have everything for that, but for people that don't have that and are on just kind of a basic you know, similar meal plan to us, I'm really curious as to know what kind of things you can't get in Aldi that you might want to, and is that something that I've considered? Is it something that I would struggle with if I was in your position? So let me know, because I haven't given that more thought than talking about it with you guys now. So really interested on that one. Sorry if I seemed a bit distracted then. I got put off because look at this. I'm going into the Smallholding style videos now. What are you doing out? Your mum's going to be fretting. Oh my goodness, now other problems. You can have the greens, you can't have the carrots. Carrots are washed off. They're all a little bit funky. I need to get these chopped up, so I'm going to chat to you while I get these chopped, otherwise we're going to be late for tea. And I've got a few things I need to get done today. Okay, so forgive the angle. Let's turn you around a little bit. I'm just going to chop off the extras because I give these to the horses. I think I mentioned that last time, and they'll really enjoy that. So yes, shopping at Aldi, I definitely find keeps our costs down without a doubt. You don't have the extra options of, you know, what else the other supermarkets have got on offer, so you're not tempted. I mean, that's as long as you don't look in the middle aisle, but sometimes there's not even anything in the middle aisle that you might fancy. But if you go in with a shopping list for any supermarket, I mean, this isn't just me saying that you should be shopping at Aldi, that's just what I do. But I find if you write a shopping list out, which I've showed you guys earlier in this video and in last week's, and I really stick to the shopping list specifically for this challenge, but at any time that's my advice, then you will absolutely save money doing that as well. Don't be distracted by other things on offer. But if you're in there and you do think, oh heck, I have forgotten something, just use your judgment to see if your brain's saying you really have forgotten it, or you just think you have because you fancy it that week. One thing I do find with the likes of Aldi is though they don't do ingredients like singly, so you can't go in and just buy single apples or I don't know, single peppers, single bananas and things like that. So that can be a pain, especially if you're just shopping for one person. So do bear that in mind. At the moment, that's not a problem for us, but it might well be for you. So again, this isn't just saying shop at Aldi. There's plenty of other choices, but that's just what we've done that we find works. And as I did last week, and I will try and do every week, I've done a blog post specifically on saving money in the kitchen. Really, that was the intention of it originally, but it was saving money around kitchen appliances. So one thing that I was surprised at on week one is, sorry, I don't know why that does that, it really annoys me. One thing that I found on week one was how energy saving the Instant Pot and the slow cooker are. So I've done a little blog post all around week 2 that wraps it all up, and I talk a little bit more about that in there. But the other things that I was alluding to around how to save money, and I'm jumping around a little bit here, so forgive me, my brain's on 2 or 3 different things at the same time, was when I talked about substituting. It's not just substituting things like leeks for onions, or, you know, when you can't get one herb, use a different one. One thing that I've noticed that you haven't been able to get in Aldi previously were taco shells, for example. I probably do them now, I haven't looked for a little while, but I just use wraps instead. And you know, if that's a big problem, then obviously you can just go somewhere else and buy them, but for us it isn't. So whenever we're having a taco night. It's not really kind of a taco night, it's more fajitas, but with taco fillings. It's all much of a muchness for me, so sorry if that offends anybody, because it's how I make it, at least. It's all very similar. So have a think about different things like that as well. What can you substitute? What can you do without? Only in times when you need to. It doesn't have to be all of the time. So for me, it's these next 35 weeks. It's a chapter of life. It's not something that we're necessarily going to be doing forever. We might have to, we might be forced to, but at the moment we've chosen to, and I prefer to do it when it's on my terms than on somebody else's terms when we don't have a choice. And I know a lot of people don't have a choice, so I'm hoping that some of the things that we share and learn during these 35 weeks and longer will help other people who maybe don't have the choice, or who can share it with somebody else that it might make a difference for. So that's one of the important things for this challenge for me. So please do get sharing anyway, I meant to ask that. And if you don't mind, can you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy this kind of content, because it tells YouTube to let other people know about the video, and it really helps my channel. I'm going to fill these carrots up with water and get them on the hob because it's an oven night tonight. That's another thing that I talk about on the blog actually as well. The cost of this compared to the other appliances is ridiculous. So I'm trying moving forward to not use the oven anywhere near as much. And I'm even thinking about getting an air fryer. So if you've got any opinions on air fryers, please do let me know. For those that can't tell, this is supposed to be toad in the hole. It's actually not too bad, so it's just in a ceramic dish. Excuse the nails. We've got sausages and just standard Yorkshire pudding batter. I don't think it was hot enough when I put it in, which is why it hasn't risen that well, but that's okay. I'm just going to serve this up with some vegetables, nice and easy, because I am off to Aldi tonight, which you'll see in next week's video. And that brings us to the end of week 2. I'm very sorry that I didn't get any other meals of the week videoed. When the Queen passed away, it took a couple of days off. We were watching a lot of the footage on the TV and things like that. And I know that's not everybody's thing, but it was mine. So we've moved on and we're getting busy with other things. So I hope that you will join us in week 3. And I hope you enjoyed the little different format of this week, seeing a little bit more of the animals and just joining along for some of the chit chat that I'm feeling as we go through this whole cost of living crisis and just generally life. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.